Hello everyone and welcome to today's economics class for the BCom 6th semester, and the syllabus is Industrial Economics. This class is conducted by Pratap Hegde, and today we are going to talk about the classification of industries. The industries in any country have been classified on the basis of many grounds, like the industries can be classified on the basis of their size of capital, like small industry, medium scale industry and large scale industry. And industries can also be classified on the basis of the types of products they produce, like agro based industry, chemical industry, fertilizer industry or metal industry, or such various products they produce. Today we are going to study about the classification of industries on the basis of their ownership. So the classification here is being done on the basis of the ownership of that industry. On the basis of ownership, the industrial sector can be classified into mainly three sectors or three industries. First one is the public sector industry. Here these industries are owned and operated by government agencies. So the owner will be a government agency and the production will be done according to the government basis. Some examples of popular government industries or government agencies are BHEL or Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, SAIL, which is Steel Authority of India, and BSNL, MTNL, etc. There are various industries that are owned and operated by our state and central government agencies. So the industries owned by government sector is called as public sector industry. The second categorization of industries is the private sector. These industries are owned and operated by private individuals or a group of individuals, like Reliance, Tata, Bajaj, Dabur, Adani. All these industries are good examples of private sector industries in India. So the production is done according to the private sector. The third major category is the joint sector. These industries are jointly run by the state and individual or a group of individuals. Just like for example, Oil India Limited is a very good example of joint venture owned by both public and private sector. So both public and private sector will be joining hands in the production of these products. This is called as joint sector industry. There is another industrial sector that is coming into light very recently, and it's also becoming very popular nowadays, that is cooperative sector. The cooperative sector industries are owned and operated by the producers of and suppliers of raw materials and workers, or both. They pool in the resources and share the profit or losses proportionately, such as sugar industry in Maharashtra, the coal industry in Kerala, and also a very good example of cooperative sector is milk industry, or in Karnataka the Nandini milk industry. So the workers or the producers pool in their resources, they collect all the resources and they sell their products through a certain agency. This is called as cooperative sector. So these are some of the examples of the classification of industries on the basis of their ownership. Now we are going to the next topic, that is multinational corporations, or for you it is easy to understand in the short form, that is MNCs. So can you call every industry or any organization as a multinational corporation? Is it okay to call any international organization or industry as multinational corporations? No. Multinational corporations has to fulfill some conditions or has to bear some characteristics in order to call themselves as multinational corporations. Now first go through the meaning or the definition of multinational corporation. MNC is an enterprise that manages production or delivers services in more than one country, and it can also be called as an international corporation. So, according to Franklin Luth, an MNC is a parent company that engages in foreign production through its affiliates located in several countries, also exercises direct control over the policies of its affiliates, and implements business strategies in production, marketing, finance, and staffing that transcend the national boundaries. So, to be clear, a multinational corporation is a company which has its roots in a parent country or a domestic country, as well as it operates with various branches in other foreign countries also. So, how a multinational company is classified, or a company is classified as a multinational company? First of all, it has subsidiaries in foreign countries. Secondly, it operates in a number of countries. There is high production assets in or and revenues from global operations, and also stakeholders are from different countries. So a country that only has its branch in one or two other country cannot be classified as a multinational corporation. It has to have more number of branches in both parent and foreign countries, and also the ownership or the stakeholders should be from different countries. So a multinational company is a vast industry that is set up in many nations and which is also run by many stakeholders. Then what are the advantages of the host country? First one, the transfer of technology, capital and entrepreneurship from the parent company. So multinational companies bring with themselves the technology, capital and entrepreneurship to the foreign countries. The next advantage is the increase in the investment level and thus the income and employment in the host country. So whenever a company installs its production facility in other countries, it does not take the laborers from their parent country. They take employees from that host country or from that foreign country, and it also provides them training. So it will directly benefit the host country by the development or the creation of employment opportunities as well as increase in the income of their people. The next benefit is greater availability of products for local consumers. So when the nation opens its doors for the foreign products, then the citizens of that country will be in benefit because they will get a more chance, they will get more variety, they will get more opportunities and options to choose between many products. The last one is it helps in increasing in the exports and it decreases the imports. So whenever a company establishes its branches or production facility in other countries, it helps the host country by the increase in the number of exports, and also it directly decreases the level of imports. It will help in the foreign exchange of that country. Then what are the advantages of multinational corporations to the home country or the parent country? First one is acquisition of raw materials from abroad. So whenever a company establishes its branches in other country, they will use natural resources and raw materials of that country. So the production will be taking place with the help of the resources from other country, and the natural resources will be here safeguarded for the domestic purpose only. The second benefit is the technology and management expertise acquired from competing in global markets. So whenever we compete with others globally, we will improve our technology, we will improve our skills of management that will help directly to the home country. The next advantage is export of components and finished goods for assembly or distribution in the foreign market. So this will also directly benefit the foreign exchange of the parent country. And the last one is the inflow of income from overseas profit, royalties and management contracts. The multinational companies will be paying the taxes to the home country and also will be paying the royalties and profits to the home country. So whenever the profit of that MNC increases, the home country will be directly in profit. So multinational corporations are both advantageous for the home country as well as the parent country. I think that will be all for today, and let's continue the next topics in the next video. Thank you.